Hello and greetings, fellow painters. I'm Tom, and I'm back as your host on this painting journey. Today we're painting the water tower by the Staunton Harold Reservoir, just south of Melbourne in the UK. It was once a windmill that has obviously been modified to no longer mill grain, but instead be a water tower. It dominates the hillside, looms imposingly to the north of the reservoir, almost as a surreal lighthouse for the docks. Below in the reservoir are only used for fishing, so no boats. And the reservoir is for drinking water. And it obviously gets filtered and purified and sent to the community, so the water tower here doesn't really serve a purpose. As if it wasn't planned to be here, but someone put it here. And it's been modified, now isn't used for the purpose it was modified for. And I'm sure in the next generation someone find a suitable purpose for it, probably a radio signal tower, cell phone service, 10G, something of that nature. The weather today was tricky. I initially had a forecast of clear to partly cloudy skies. I had learned my lesson from the last episode. It's kind of way more detailed weather, did real good scouting. But the skies were looking for a pretty dramatic sky scenery. The wind, extremely gusty, and other times it was just a little breezy. Very unpredictable, to say the least. Towards the end of the painting, it started to sprinkle. Not quite rain, just enough that it interfered with the oil that I've already laid onto the canvas. So, when it did sprinkle, it made the paint run a bit, so I tried cleaning up best I could and moved over slightly to the protection of a tree. This allowed me temporary reprieve, finish up the painting, get in some last minor details. I wrapped this up and stowed my kit. All during the painting, though, I had a very polite and patient audience. They stayed for the entire duration of the painting. The young dad, and I'd say about a 9-year-old daughter, they came to the reservoir to enjoy the park on the weekend, enjoy the Saturday sun, a nice venue. He was intrigued, to say the least, so I'm not sure he's actually seen anyone paint outdoors before, which is understandable. Come to think of it, it's definitely not something you see every day, no matter where you go. No matter where you're in the world, you're supposed to see something new. That's the point of experiencing life. I mean, you go some places a little easier. You see buskers in areas making music. Larger city centers have those fully painted statue people that just stand there like a statue. And even some big touristy cities, you'll have photo op cosplayers dressed as superheroes. But you don't see many painters. They aren't just throwing graffiti in the hours of darkness, trying to be the next Banksy. And I get that, I do. And I've seen some large murals get put on the walls in high traffic areas for aesthetic reasons or designs or building advertisements. But with the development of cell phone cameras being so prevalent nowadays, the need for painting is dying. When you just get a photo of it. There is a competition between the two, but then again there isn't. You see everything within the lens of the camera will be in the photo, as clear as it can possibly get. And it'll only be as good as the photographer taking the picture. Same as a painting, will only be as good as the painter painting the painting. And for painting, between the picture and painting there are similar constraints, but in different measures. Painting doesn't have to include everything in the painting that is in the painter's eye. Also, the point of focus, the composition are unique to the painter, as well as depth of field and color usage. But with Photoshop and photo editing software, there's a closer gap than one might realize right off the bat. Challenge will forever be there, and it'll be a matchup to watch develop. And now that there's AI and robots being more intrusive into the creative arts, having a robot with an AI paint a copy of a masterpiece, which is pretty much plagiarism software. I would say that that's what that is, because they're not inventing something new, they're just copying something already done by somebody else. And but it's going to be way more readily available, and still waiting to see when a robot is painting a masterpiece to rival with the masterworks of old. But there's going to be something missing in that equation, and it's on the horizon. And if you know of its development and would like to share any sources, please leave a link in the comments below. I'm sure I'll get to it, and it'll help out the algorithm and other people watching, so thank you in advance for that. So yeah, put a link in the bottom if you know of any of this. After painting and cleaning up, wrapping up my kit, I went to get some ice cream from the cafe there at the park. My wife had a sorbet and I had mint chocolate chip. It was very yummy. And anyways, just as we get to the cafe, wouldn't you know, that's right, Mother Nature was making sure she was a part of the conversation. The sky just opened up and a deluge of rain water poured from the heavens. It only lasted about 15 minutes, but it was torrential. It was just sheets and sheets of rain. And then it stopped. This was not in the forecast. But had I been even a remote minute slower with my cleanup, I would have been caught in this downpour and compromised everything. I may be grateful that I had a pretty smooth practice to clean up my site and stow my kit quickly. Any delay, buddy, the whole day would have been for nothing. As we were sitting in the cafe and enjoying our ice cream, we got to talking to this elderly couple who were there to enjoy the day as well at the reservoirs. We made small talk, waited out the rain as they were, and it was a lovely break from continuing on with our adventure. And there you have it, Staunton Harold Water Tower. Right there. Tune in next time, we go someplace new. Hey, we plan on bringing you along our next adventure, so don't miss out. Smash the bell, turn on notifications so you'll be alerted to all the upcoming content. And a huge thank you to those that have already liked and subscribed. So keep up to date on all our adventers. I hope you have a good day. Happy painting.